You know we don't miss. Feel like I'm Curry the way that I'm shooting. I been on my shit. Run them up, we gon' hit them. Coming in hot with a blitz. Cash out options, got them talking, we don't split. Straight from the couch, we up and we out. Then I gotta dip.
Alright, let's see the fit.
Ready.
Yes.
Let's go!
Jared Goff! Jared Goff! Jared Goff! That's all we heard, man. That's all we heard.
Damn, Detroit knows how to show up. Oh my
for
gosh.
sure. Definitely.
They call, they answer. Oh.
It was wild. We had a blast. Day one was for sure a blast. Wild, but it was a blast.
I'm still on vacation mode.
Whew. Well, I can't really say I'm on vacation mode anymore. I wish I was, but
Oh my
here
gosh.
I am on the good old couch here, coming to you.
No, so I think we need to just get into it and break it up day by day, but I will say the way we were welcome into Detroit, like...
I got to bring my beer in here. It wouldn't be right.
Oh.
With my always a great draft pick. Yeah, so good little find I got while I was there. Look at that. The worst place on earth to eat.
Whoa.
I know. I'm not a fan.
Chick-fil-A is so good. Are you hating on Chick-fil-A? You weren't even going to cheers me?
Oh,
Whoa.
shit.
Butt face?
Cheers.
Oh my
All
god.
right, let me gobble this down.
I got my
All right, let's get back to day one, 225,000 people at the draft.
Hold up, girlfriend. Numbers.
Oh, wait. Behind us.
275,000
crap,
people.
I messed that up.
That's okay. It was a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it was a total of 700,000 people in 3 days. That's pretty incredible. I think that made the...
They broke a record
Yeah.
for the most people. In
Way
the
to go,
NFL
Detroit.
draft. Yeah, Detroit did not play around.
No.
I will tell you, the way that I was brought into Detroit was pretty sweet. On our way down to the draft, Nicole, who was the first person that we encountered in Detroit?
First person that we encountered. Was it the guy drinking the milkshake?
No.
I got to think here.
Think about the gas station situation.
Oh, shit. I forgot. So here we are. We just left our Airbnb, which was, by the way, maybe 5 minutes from 8 Mile. It was an experience within itself. But so we go to this gas station, which was a little different. Here she goes out there pumping gas. Here comes this guy up to her. Let her tell the story. It's pretty good.
This dude, so mind you, we leave our Airbnb, okay, 5 minutes from where Eminem was from, right? So I think we need to leave a dramatic pause for a moment to show who our neighbor was, which we're not even going to tell. They got to see it.
All right. Let me bring it up right here.
Put it up.
Take a look at that.
Those were our neighbors.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Actually, I think they're on blocks.
It was sketchy. So we get down to this gas station, all right? And this dude yells, and he goes, "Hey, yo, who's on pump 5?"
And I immediately look up and go, "Oh,
and
shit."
she's looking up, and I go...
I wasn't strapped either. I couldn't find my license to carry card.
I said, "Hold up." I said, "I'm on pump 5." And he goes, "Nah, you're on pump 6. I said, "Hey, buddy, I used to be a school teacher. I could read." I said, "I'm on pump 5. He comes over, and he goes, "Hey, I'll pump your gas for you." I said, "No, I'm good. Now, mind you, there was a dude in this Dodge. Was it a Challenger or a Charger?
I think it was a Charger.
And he looked, and he was like, you could tell, like, dad mode from behind. He was this cool dude, and he's like looking like, what in the hell is this homeless dude coming up to these two chicks for.
We're decked out in Steelers gear, mind you.
We were out of place with the Steelers gear.
We were out of place in general.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
So this dude comes up to me. He's got busted out missing teeth. Definitely a homeless dude. And he just starts singing out of nowhere.
Oh, it was a beautiful tune. It really was.
It was pretty cool. And what was that song? It was like, outstanding. Makes me want to something like that.
Yeah, something like that. We have video. We'll share it with you.
So we're in Detroit. We made friends with a nice guy at the gas station. What was the song you were singing?
I'm so lucky, girl.
Ooh, make me wanna
Get finer by the day, girl.
We're going to the NFL
Wish
game.
that I could love you by
Love
in a
it.
special way, girl.
Oh yeah. He didn't know that I knew that song, so I started singing it with him, and he was like in shock. So he starts singing, and the dude behind me is like laughing because he did not expect like two chicks like us in Detroit, just like having a good time. We're laughing and joking, whatever. So finally, that was my first encounter. I'm like, bro, if we're starting off Detroit with a homeless man, I'm about it. So then we actually make our way down to the draft. Okay, take it away.
Wait a minute. Let's rewind. We had a discussion about how we were getting to the draft.
This bitch.
So Erm over here, Big Erm over here, we all know why we call her Big Erm, right? Big booty!
Is that why you call me that?
Yeah, Big Booty Erm over
I
there.
always wonder why you call me bigger.
Yeah, I mean, she's a teeny girl with a big boob. Or big butt. Not butt. I'm the one with the big boobs.
You got, huge tatas that way, not my side. Nope, can't even fake that.
But anywho, so this one over here. All right. So I'm like, let's just take public transportation down there. I'm a city goer. I've taken plenty of public transportation. She's like, no, we're driving.
This
I'm like,
bitch.
dude.
Fuck you. She goes, we're taking public transportation. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
you're telling me we're getting on a PAT bus to go down to the NFL draft. And then she goes,
They
or
don't
we
have
could take
PAT
the
buses up there.
Or you said what, the T or whatever it was?
I don't know what they got up there. They got all kinds of shit.
I don't know. She said we're gonna do this because we don't want to.
I was thinking about saving some bucks.
She was like, the parking's gonna be a pain in the ass and this and that. I said, Nicole,
I was wrong.
We're
Although we
driving.
did pay $90 almost. I was like, we're gonna end up paying like $100 to park. We did find nice parking, $90. We did pay for it, but it was so worth it. We had not even a 5-minute walk to the draft. No traffic, in or out, super easy. And then I think the second day we only paid $60, 60 or 50.
So, like, I know you just met me 4 months ago, but bitch, I don't fuck around when it comes to parking. Like, chop, chop. I'm so used to parking and driving downtown Pittsburgh that I'm like, like, I'm driving. And I don't know about y'all, but, like, I'm one of those people who I like being in control of a situation.
I don't know why she's saying y'all. It must be the Arizona thing out of her. Because up in these parts, we say yins, okay? Let's get with it, Erm.
Yeah, yins, guys, or y'all. Well, I mean, I say a little
yins. She sounds like my daughter. She says y'all all the time. I'm like, dude, you grew up in Pittsburgh.
Piss off.
Yins.
Piss off. I've been around, okay?
You been around downtown?
I've been around downtown.
Downtown and that?
So we go, and we ended up, we found parking. Great. We actually, I will say Detroit, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you guys
You did
are
it
awesome.
right. You did it right. Because
We heard, we're telling everybody we're going to Detroit. And they're like, oh, you're going to Detroit. And we're like,
it's such a bad area. It's so sketchy.
Yeah.
What are you two girls doing in Detroit? Let me tell y'all. I will say, and I don't know if you can agree or not, Nicole, I will say Detroit has to be one of the most misunderstood places.
yeah, most certainly. I mean, everybody there was absolutely wonderful.
I did not have a single bad encounter with anybody from Detroit.
No, actually, it was kind of nice.
We actually had so much fun with so many different people, and they were all from Detroit.
Yeah.
They were cool as shit.
Absolutely.
Like, I kind of felt like I was back home in Pittsburgh a little bit.
Yeah.
The fans weren't as loud as Pittsburgh people, but
No, that's definitely a true statement right there.
yeah, y'all got to step up your game.
Mm-hmm.
But we, okay, well, let's fast forward now. So I guess we get to the draft.
Yeah. We walk right in, walk straight to the front of the stage. Oh, I must say I had to get us some beverages. Got us some beverages.
You
Walked
were on
straight up.
drink-a-clock.
I was. All I had on my mind was, ooh, let's bring them back. I have no kids.
It's
I'm out.
5 o'clock somewhere.
At 5 o'clock somewhere in my
It was-
brain. It was 11:30.
It was 11:30 in the morning. So we get our drinks or whatever. I got my little seltzer,
I picked it out for it with cherry seltzer.
Mm-hmm. So we got our seltzer, whatever. So we get there at 11:30. Little did we know, we get up there, and there was like a crowd of people enough to be, probably
It
about
was a mingling crowd at that point in time.
So, we sit there and we get there and we're like, we didn't understand that when we got there, the draft itself, they had the whole city was closed down. How would you even describe it? The whole city was closed down for the draft.
there was certain streets that were closed off, and you had like a map, and you could go over here. There was like the experience area, which was a little bit of a good walk to get to. But you got to walk through the city, and they had like almost like a Bourbon Street area.
It was baller.
Yeah, we did that on day 2, which we'll bring that up later.
But we didn't know that we happened to walk in the right place at the right time. Get into that entry. We look and we see this huge stage, and originally we thought that was just where the fans were going to be or whatever. So we go over, and someone's like, "Oh no, this is the main stage where the players are going to come out and they're going to accept their stuff, and this is where the main stuff's at." So, Nicole and I are looking, and we kind of had like a pre-plan in the beginning. We went in blind, not knowing what to expect, but we did have a pre-conversation, did we not? Saying like, something weird's going to happen. We just felt it. And what do you know? We get up there, and there's like this mingling crowd, and all of a sudden, we're sitting there, and we're working.
We weren't sitting, we were standing.
Well, we were standing, but we ended up like we worked our way all the way up to the front.
Right up to that gate, we were there, right in the front.
We, out of the 275,000 people.
Yeah, we were front and center.
Front and center. But we got there at 11:30. Now, here's the kicker, though. So, as we got that front row spot, guess what? Once you get that front row spot,
you don't get out.
You're committed. You are full-fledged committed. And we made friends with these Saints guys from, like, New Orleans.
Yeah, they were New Orleans. Yeah.
And they were really, really cool. Them and
New Orleans, whatever you want to call it.
I said New Orleans?
New Orleans, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Tomato. So we go and we're like, all right, so we get up to the front, make some friends, whatever. And at that point, we're just like, all right, we're not leaving. So all of a sudden, let's fast forward. We make a couple friends. 1 o'clock or 12:30 goes by. 1:30 goes by. 2:30 goes by. About that time, right?
I gotta pee. Luckily, I'm a construction worker, and I hold it.
Nicole had to pee. And I looked at her, and I said, no, you gotta hold it. Because
we're stuck.
We're staying up here, and I'm not missing Big Sean.
Yeah, I know. And I'll tell you what. So we did make a lot of friends while we were up there. I mean, let's talk about the football boys.
Shout out Midland! Hold on, wait. You ready for this?
Wait, I think she might have the names down.
Are you ready to be so impressed?
I know I'm going to be impressed because I was impressed within 5 minutes. You already knew their first and last names.
So, one of the perks of being a school teacher is I have like a photographic memory. And so, one of the things is I met this boy, Riley, and they're so cute. Like, these guys are like 22 in college, some D2 school, and they were security for the NFL draft. So, they were doing community service, and they were up in the front row. And we had like 8 hours to pass at this time before the draft had started. So, we were just like making friends with everybody and stuff. And the security guards, like these guys from Midland, they were like a blast. Like they honestly, I would say, made our day one worthwhile.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for you guys, I think we probably would have been bored as shit.
Yeah, we had a good time with you guys.
But we had Riley. Riley brought over Mitchell. Cute little Mitchell.
Mitchie.
Then we got Devin Brown. And then
I told you.
Then we had Ryder. Then we had a guy Steeler. Then we had a guy, Jack.
I think he was actually named after the Steelers, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember, but I thought so. But he came over. He was so excited to see us. We had Ryder. Then we had Jack. I think Jack's, I wanted to call him Calcutta, but it was like, it was Jack K. And then there was this really cool black dude that was a linebacker. And he had a really cool, unique name, and I don't remember it, so I'm sorry. But he was actually one of my favorites.
I know. He was so cute.
And then there was another tight end. And then there was that other dude that looked just like Justin Jefferson. He kept saying his name's Justin, but I knew he was lying. So I remembered all of you. Memorable moments. Riley did text me the other day, and he asked if we'd come and see a game, and I told him we're just going to show up.
Yeah, it would have to be a surprise. We can't just plan it.
We can't just plan
Let's talk about Dennis Roy. from Doghouse.
Do you see me smirking?
From Doghouse Fantasy Football. I
Total
will pop up all his stuff for you to follow. He's awesome.
He's a shit.
Yeah, he works with women of fantasy football, which I actually am really upset. I had no idea that this even existed.
Like, that's so you.
Oh my God, it's so me. It's right up
So
my
you.
alley. And he was working with women of fantasy football, and I also will pop them up as well and hype them girls up.
Woo woo.
I mean, you're right up my alley.
Which day 2? We are gonna have a little thing about y'all because you guys are so
Absolutely.
Those women are the reason our podcast reached 1,600 full views.
Yes.
Shout out to them. So we'll have.
Well, I
our
think
little,
we're at like 3,000 now.
Really.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it in the last couple days. Get
Yeah,
out.
which I'm pretty stoked about.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Dude, we were just like, our first expectation of this podcast, we're like, if we get 30 full views on the first go around, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden after the draft, I had like 35,000 views on a video. And then now I guess we're at 3,000 full views.
For the
that's not even,
podcast, yeah.
But then that's not even the people that search us. So that's actually really cool. Like, that's pretty sweet. So
we'll get into more of them in our third episode. So I think it's time we get into Big Sean. That's all up Erm's alley.
Oh, I love Big Sean. So we're sitting there, and mind you, well, actually, no. They need to know about the problem first. So before we get into Big Sean.
Oh, yeah.
This one here had to pee at 2:30, and I told her no, right? Well, I finished my seltzer, and we'll get into that. I already read your mind. I already know what you're about to go into next. I go, and at 4:30, I had to pee so bad. And let me tell you guys something. If you ever get to the point where you're front and center in a crowd of 275,000 people, you have to hold your bladder. I had
all
to hold.
day long.
We held our bladder that day. Day 1, 12 hours?
Yeah, at least 12 hours.
We didn't get to pee. I was so pissed, but then it got to Big Sean. But before we got to Big Sean,
We have to talk about Gabe.
we do need to talk about Gabe. So, Gabe, little sausage fingers.
Sausage fingers. And he had Scotch tape on his glasses. But I will have to say, Gabe, shout out to you for buying me beers. Anytime I needed one, you are awesome. And I think you're great.
Gabe, you're a motherfucking rock star, dude. When I saw your titties, when I saw you take off your shirt and you showed off them titties, oh, baby! Can I get a, oh, yeah? Fucking Gabe, that dude didn't give a fuck. I love that. People
Two
like
fucks.
that, none. Didn't care. Loved them. So let's get into mom mode while we talk about don't give a fuck.
That would be me.
First,
My bad.
First thing first, we had a little excitement also on day 1. So, mind you, the crowd is completely packed at this point. All of a sudden, and the other thing is, Nicole and I were like some of the only girls up front. There was only one other woman that I saw.
Eating Chipotle.
Dude.
She was chowing down.
She was
I think Erm was a
boss.
little jealous.
I was. She was a boss ass. But this girl's like second row, and she's over here crushing Chipotle. And at that time, it was like 6 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so jealous of her. She was pretty sweet. So if you're seeing this, you're a fucking boss ass bitch.
Agreed.
So this one here. All of a sudden, we hear some chick's voice, but there was no other girls around, so we were so confused. We're like, what? Who is yelling? Like, who's this bitch yelling? And all of a sudden, we see some little boy rushing to the front or whatever. He's crying and crying and crying or whatever. So finds out some kid goes missing from his parents, and then this one here steps into mom mode.
Me, right here. I did.
And what'd you do?
I asked him for his mom's phone number. Why wouldn't some little kid know his mom's phone number?
So he
and
gave
he
his
rattled it off to me.
End up finding his parents. So that was the first chain of excitement. Second chain of excitement, where this one here again just springs into action out of nowhere.
Open the crowd up like Moses.
Literally. Like she
There's a
parted.
lady having a seizure.
Lady gets cracked in the back of her head. This one here is like, excuse me, get the fuck out of the way.
I did.
Parts the crowd. All of a sudden, EMS comes in, literally hopped this woman over a fence. She falls back
But
to
she
the
falls
ground.
back over the fence and
I
has
thought
another seizure.
I thought she died.
I was like, what is going on here?
Me and the Midland boys, we're sitting there, and we're looking at this woman on the floor, and we're like, this bitch is dead. And it was wild. But she, I think, was good. So then, let's get into Big Sean.
Big Sean.
Big Sean. I was so excited. And, like, you know, one thing about me is, like, it doesn't matter if there's a party of 2,000, 200,000. I like to think that I'm the life of the party, and I don't care what the hell's going on.
Shaking that big booty.
I'm having a fucking blast. Like, if I'm going and I took vacation time and I'm going to the draft and I get to see Big Sean live, are you kidding me?
This is where our age gap comes into play. I didn't know a single song.
She sucked. She was standing there recording everybody, and she was such a party pooper. She didn't know who Big Sean was. And I'm like, and I'm over here like dancing and bumping into all the people around me, and everybody else around me was like stuck in the mud like a sore thumb. And I'm just like, guys, like we're at a freaking concert. Like, let's go.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was like, ooh, this is fun. Looking at all the crowds and everything. And I really tried to like, okay, maybe I know the next one. Maybe I know the next one.
I knew every word, and I was
But I was singing them oldies.
I was
Motown
living my
oldies.
best life. That was a blast.
I know Vincenzo loved it.
Speaking of, do you realize my mom has listened to our podcast 4 times back to back?
Maybe that's why we have so many views.
And I keep hearing myself talk, like I'll be in the middle of my sleep and I'll hear my voice and I'm like, okay, I've heard the same episode now. And I'm like, Mom, stop, okay. So then after Big Sean, then what I will say, and this was the biggest thing before the draft started. As soon as Big Sean was done, we kept hearing it. What was the chant that we kept hearing the entire time that we were there from Detroit? It'll be, Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Jared Goff.
And it was like, and we're sitting there like, oh my gosh, like the city of Detroit.
It was literally echoing behind us. I'm actually going to show you.
Jared Goff! 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 Let's go, baby!
'Cause I'm telling you, it was incredible. I've never heard a man's name be chanted so much in my life. It was actually pretty sweet.
The whole time.
It was insane. And I will say, Detroit, your jerseys are pretty tough, not going to lie. I love that blue. That blue is pretty cool.
Yeah, it
all
was.
The St. Brown jerseys.
There was lots of St. Brownies in there.
Oh, yeah. That was
For sure.
Them, Gibbs.
Yeah, lots of Gibbs, lots of St. Brownies.
Yeah, it was pretty
Jared Goff.
Go.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Oh, I know what happened. Roger Goodell comes out to say, it's time. Ready?
I'm going to tell you. All right. 3,
2, 1.
Boo! That's all you heard. That is all you heard.
Every time that guy came out.
I'm going to tell you right now, the shit that we see on TV, it's all horse shit. I'm telling you, this dude, I will give it to him. He held his composure so well.
Oh, he takes it.
He took it like a champ.
I'll be PG here. He takes it real good.
He
really does.
I
mean, I know it must be hard being the commissioner of the NFL with all your stupid ass rules and all your stupid ass fines.
That dude.
And I can go on and on and on. But all in all, we have the NFL and he's the commissioner. We'll get another stupid ass guy in there eventually.
Dude, I've never seen somebody booed so much in my life.
Yeah, he was booed.
So on TV, well, that's the thing. So on TV,
They edited it out.
They edited it out. So like on TV, okay, pretend I'm Roger Goodell and I'm like, "Welcome to the NFL draft."
Oh, just like whenever Eminem came out.
And oh yeah, Eminem.
I mean, he pretty much like cut him off. Like I was like, oh, okay.
It was wild, but they like. It was so interesting to see because on TV, Roger Goodell looks like the man and stuff. And if you would have seen that audience, every single, I'd say about, instead of 275,000, I'd be going about 250,000 people were booing that man. Yeah. And that's being generous. That man is not liked.
No.
Mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
let's talk about your least liked pick of the evening.
So one thing you'll learn about me is I try not to be negative about people because it's like, here's the deal. Like, I'm not a negative.
I think you might get booed for this.
I am going to get booed for this. And I'm not a negative.
But you're not going to get booed by it from me because I actually agree with you
I'm not
on this
a
one.
negative person, but one thing I will say is, like, I go off of people's, like, energy and vibe and how they carry themselves and, like, you know, just how you treat others and your whole, like, aura about you. And I don't ever want to knock somebody because to get to that league, I mean, you definitely have talent, right?
Yes.
So, like, I'm not going to knock him for that. Like, the dude's definitely a talented guy, but I did not fuck with Caleb Williams.
I didn't either. I couldn't do the what was it?
The
silver,
fingernails.
this pink, the silver fingernails. It was a little off for me.
So here's my thing, right? That's your moment. You're getting inducted into the draft. I don't even know if inducted is the word. You're getting
picked,
picked. Okay, fuck off, Nicole. Okay.
Holy shit!
All this talking over here. Sorry, messed up one word.
I'm pretty sure it says right here. Always a great draft pick.
All right. Well,
right?
let me just sip on my Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, sip on your Chick-fil-A. I'll sip on my sour beer over here.
Anyways, Caleb Williams can't. He's one of those people that he just doesn't do it for me. My thing is the way he carries himself, Nicole. He reminds me of he gives me Josh Rosen vibes. And it's one of those people that are so hyped up front. And I honestly, I don't want to say that I don't think he's going to be successful, but just something about him as a leader, I already get bad vibes from him.
Well,
I mean,
really coming out as a quarterback, I mean, obviously he was drafted as a quarterback. And looking through some of his stuff that I got going on, I feel like he's more of like a hero ball player. He's not quick on his quick decisions. I'm not feeling him. I think he's going to be a dud. I hope the best for you. Believe me, I'm not talking shit. It's just my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well,
I think he's going to have a hard time keeping up with the NFL pace, honestly. I really do.
I agree with that. Well, and then the next person who I actually really liked, and I thought that they're, like, everything about them, they gave me really good vibes. Right?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. This dude comes out.
He's got the NFL blood in him.
He's got the NFL blood in him, and the way he came out, like, he didn't brag, but it was just like he had this, like, swagger to him, and he had this really cool black sparkle suit
Oh, it was so cute. It was so sparkly. Ooh.
Hat. Girly girl.
It was cute. It was really cute. I liked it.
He had this super sick pendant on, and it was for him and his dad. He had him on one side and his dad on the other side. And I just thought it was really cool. But the way he carried himself. So when we were sitting in that crowd for about, 12 hours, we had a guy to my right. We'll have to post a picture of him. He was the dude that didn't
Frank the Tank!
Well, that was to my left. It was the guy to my right.
I thought you were talking about Frank. Oh, yeah. He was with Frank the Tank.
He was with Frank the Tank.
Yes.
Frank the Tank.
He was a huge fan of him.
So we had this dude who had the Harrison Jr. jersey on, and the whole entire time he kept talking about him. He was a fan and this and that, whatever. And honestly, once I saw that dude come out and get picked for the draft, I instantly became a fan. I think I really am going to, like, keep an eye out for him this season, so I'm excited for him. Which, real quick before we go on to the other players, I will say shout out to Frank the fucking Tank.
Frank the Tank. I'm so upset that we didn't get, his contact.
What's his real name?
I don't know. I thought it was Frank.
So I have to show you a picture of my buddy from him. His name's it's Frank, so we call him Frank the Tank, and it looked like his identical twin.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about pew pew.
And pew pew, you're going to be in every episode. He doesn't know yet. But I cannot tell you one thing that you don't think about, whenever you're in this large crowd is, you get people pushing and this and that. And let me tell you how exhausting it is after 12 hours of
wieners.
Oh, my God.
On your back.
Balls and wieners. I had so many half tubs.
It was so stinky between farts.
B.O. and half chubs on my back.
And bad breath. Ugh.
Oh, so bad. So it got to a point, where we're these only girls up here with the Chipotle lady, and all of a sudden I said something to Frank the Tank, and Frank the Tank really stood up. So he got in this, funny-ass basketball stance, and he's like, I got you, girls.
And he did. He had our backs. For
Frank,
sure. High five to you, Frank the Tank. If you see this, just know that we love you. Thank you for taking care of us.
You're a motherfucking baller.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks for getting those half chubs off me.
Yeah.
My boyfriend also appreciates that. No, I was just like, I'm tapped out of that. So, okay, let's get back into the picks. We don't want to go off veer off.
Let's do Malik Neighbors.
Love him.
LSU Tigers.
Hands.
6th overall pick
He
in the
was
draft.
hands down my favorite player of the night. And let me tell you, when I go off, I would like to think that I have a good sense of judgment, Nicole. He has the best energy, the best aura. I'm totally betting on him this year. Like, he's a wide receiver. He came from what, LSU?
LSU Tigers.
Yeah.
Hey. Just to let you know,
What,
FanDuel
Nicole?
has him already on there. 840.5 points for all year. Well, yards. His yardage.
He's going to pass that.
840.5 right now.
Take the over right now.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to be the rookie of the year, but
Oh, dude, I'm getting vibes. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
He is, I'm telling you, the way he carried himself, I don't know how it was seen on TV because we obviously seen him in person, but just the way he carried himself, the people around him, how he spoke about his family, I'm like, dude, I'm a fan. So, excited about him. Can I tell him about your
favorite boy.
your favorite boy? This girl was up his ass all day. All day.
I was hoping.
Steelers.
I was hoping and praying. I'm in oldies mood.
Steelers first draft pick. Troy Fatanu.
Yes.
She is in
Oh,
love.
score! I
am
am
happy.
so freaking stoked. I mean, he has to give you. If you don't feel it, I'm going to tell you what you're going to feel.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely has Troy Polamalu feels. He idolized
All day.
him growing up. I mean, come on. I believe it was his dad who was a Steelers fan. So if you look at some of his old school photos, he's in Steeler jerseys.
So cool.
And I just think it's so awesome. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, he's going to be a good asset to the team, especially with the two other guys from day 2 and 3
Yeah. What is he? 6'4", 317 pounds of pure steel. Bring it on, Troy!
Would you say he's 317 pounds?
317 pounds of pure steel.
Oh, he's like a little Hawaiian roll.
Ooh, that's sweet.
About to butter your buns, baby girl. I'm telling you, I'm excited. No, and then other than that, I mean, now here's where it gets real wild. So if we get through our picks, right? So now let's kind of fast forward. I'm going to set the mood for you. So then we get back to, all right, it went from being kind of chilly that day, and then all of a sudden it got really hot, and then by the time nighttime hit, it was negative nipples outside. It was so freaking cold. My bladder was bad. Like,
She was done.
I was done. I was like, tap out. I'm done. So I told her, I was like, Nicole, we got to go. Like, I'm going to piss myself. So we go to head out.
Oh, wait. Just hold up. Wait a minute. We see through 275,000 people.
Which, when you got a piss, that sucked.
We're holding hands. I'm pulling her through.
Mm-hmm.
We get all the way over to the Porta Johns. All I hear is, Erminia! I'm like, what? Here she is
I got friends
in the middle of the NFL draft and some guy screaming out her name.
Uh-huh.
So we go over. Who was that?
Shout out to Derek. Derek's my friend from high school.
Oh, okay. That's right.
It was actually pretty sweet. So he comes up to us. He's catching up, whatever. And it was pretty cool. I got to see him in Detroit because I haven't seen him in a hot minute. And it was, how cool is this? He's like, oh my God, I seen you guys. You're killing it. He goes, I watched your podcast. You girls are literally crushing it. And I was like, that's really cool to be out in Detroit. We dropped one episode and he had seen it.
Yeah, which
Like,
I thought was awesome.
What the hell
Thanks
are
for the support.
Yeah, Derek, you're the shit. Like, what the hell
Now
are
make
these
sure you
things?
watch the rest of the episodes that we put out, okay?
Yeah, or
Then
you're-
you're extra cool.
Or you're dead to us.
Dead.
So let's fast forward. We go. We take our piss, whatever. Which
No, she
Porta
left me.
Johns.
Wrong again, Wrong again.
Let me be wrong.
She went and took a piss while I stood there and talked to her friend from high school. And then she came back and I was able to go take a pee.
Dude, if you've ever Like, my bladder was, like, of no other.
I know.
My body was numb. My head was pounding.
I was a little sore.
I couldn't even walk. Like, it wasn't cool. So then all of a sudden we walked to the car, right? And at this point, Nicole and I were so tapped out. We just stood for 12 hours. We just freaking peed after 12 hours for the first time. We didn't eat anything. We're hangry. We're like, get out of here. We're so cold. My hands were so numb, I couldn't even open them all the way up. Now, mind you, I was just so mentally tapped out. So finally, I get in the car. I crank the heat. We're not even in the car for, 10 seconds?
10 seconds, and I get a tick, 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 tick on my window. And there's these two women standing there, and I don't know, some strange guy. I don't know. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, of course, I opened the door. And Erm's still over there like, I'm freezing. She was grumpy. Let's just put it there. She was straight grump at this point.
I wanted to go the hell home. So so all of a sudden these ladies just make a comment to Nicole and they're like, what'd they say to you?
Can you just take us across the bridge and we'll give you $20?
They were having issues with their Uber.
Before I could even say anything, Arm's like, get in the back.
Get in. Hop in. Didn't even care.
All right. Well, I knew there was shitbagger, so I hopped out, cleaned it out, got these two women in the back of the car.
So at this point,
one of them happened to be from Pittsburgh.
What are the chances? They get in, and I'm just laughing because midway through this drive, this woman's like, so this is going to sound kind of weird to tell you, but I'm going to take you down this really dark, sketchy alleyway. And midway, as I'm driving these complete and utter strangers, I'm thinking like, probably not the safest thing that I should have done, right?
No, definitely not.
But I was thinking, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Went in Detroit. And on top of it, I'm like, fuck it up, sis. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to take him home. Dude, my body was so numb. I'm going to tell you right now, if there was someone that was getting murdered, stabbed, shot, whatever,
we wouldn't have felt it.
I wouldn't have felt it. I would have went out peacefully. I'm telling you, I was so numb and I was so tired. Put me out of my misery. It wouldn't have bothered. I just wouldn't have been even like, I wouldn't have even felt it in the least bit. So those women, we ended up dropping them off. We told them about our podcast, and all of a sudden, she's like, oh, you're from Pittsburgh? I'm from Pittsburgh. Finds out she went to Pine Richland. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like,
well, how does that even happen? We're in Detroit again, and we run into somebody else that's from Pittsburgh.
This shit only happens to us.
Okay, wait. While we're on this whole subject. So, top jerseys you saw at the draft. Number 1.
Oh, my God. Detroit Lions.
Number 2. Can I say it?
Hold on. You can, but...
Let's do it at the same time.
It surprised me to the fullest because over on the East Coast, like, we don't ever see these, and we actually don't think they're really the biggest team. But I was like so shocked.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Da Bears. Yeah, I would have to say that there was a lot of freaking Bears fans there.
I was actually pretty impressed with the turnout from you guys because I would say the third was like a tie between
Ooh, a little tongue-tied over there, huh?
I'm not even drunk.
Me neither, unfortunately.
I would say the third most seen jersey would either be, it was kind of a tie between the Washington Commanders and the Steelers.
Take it back. It was the Steelers. Take it back.
We did see a lot of Steelers jerseys, but I did see some Commanders.
Yeah, there was. It was definitely Commanders.
Who would you say you saw the least? If you could think. Jaguars, Jets.
Jaguars, Jets, and probably the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I mean, we did see some Dolphins, but not, it was just...
Couple Dan Marino jerseys.
Yeah, a couple of Dan Marino jerseys, but the old school Dan Marino jerseys we definitely seen. But
we didn't see a ton of you guys, but like I will say though that every team had somebody to represent them.
Yes, for sure.
There was a jersey for all. At one point on day one, we were trying to get a picture with every single person with a different jersey because we thought it'd be like a cool little memory. But then we had to stop by like the fourth picture in because remember that creepy old guy that started following us in the
thing? We did.
He would not hop off our non-existent nutsack.
He was right there.
He's like, I'm gonna follow you ladies into the stadium.
You guys look like a good time.
Sir, get the fuck away from me.
Peace.
And then I texted Nicole. I'm like, escape route. Like, let's go. Figure it out, bitch.
We were gone like the quickness.
Yeah, he had a thing for Nicole, but we had to peace out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just put my opinion out there. I guess I'm a pretty opinionated. I think I've said that quite a few times tonight.
Say it with your chest.
So, and I'm not being biased. I'm sure you've figured out by now I am a Steelers fan. But if I had to say number one best draft, I have to say it. I have to give it to Omar, and who's my least favorite coach in the NFL?
You don't like Mike Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin. Shout out to Mike Tomlin for a excellent draft. I feel like the Steelers came out on top. They drafted incredible. I give them a number 1 A+. I am so excited to see what happens with the Steelers this year between the draft and between everything that happened prior to the draft. Is that prior?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be prior to the draft. We had some awesome pickups. Sorry, Ravens. Queen is now our queen. Yeah. Oh, God, I love Queen. He's going to be so awesome.
Oh, my God. You're so funny.
And number 2 for me would be the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman, he wants the ring. And I think he really showed up. And my honorable mention would be, you ready? Da Bears.
I will agree with that.
I'm gonna go number 3 with the Bears.
I agree.
I that's all I got, Erm.
I don't know if I'm biased, but I think the Steelers definitely had the best. But I think this
Yeah.
year we are going to crush it. And I will say, the Bears fans, they were so kind to us when they saw their jerseys, and they're like, "We gave you Justin Fields. We gave you Justin Fields." And I was like,
we got Justin Fields.
"Thank you. Do you want a beer? We got you. We got you."
Oh yeah.
So we're all excited.
I mean, we're pretty stacked with QBs.
Oh my God, we're fucking
For pretty much free. I mean, that was like a free gig.
locked.
Shout
and
out
loaded.
to Omar for all your hard work and effort.
Love it.
Woo!
Well, listen, I think that's pretty much it. You got anything else?
No, we're gonna have to
We're gonna
start
bring
working
you-
on episode 3,
In episode 3, is
day
gonna be
2 at the draft.
day 2 at the draft, because let me tell you something. Day 1 versus day 2, completely different.
Way different.
So different. We get to talk about how Chris sent us to the VIP,
Ooh, yeah.
which I'm going to tell you every single episode how much I love Chris. Chris, thank you so much for sending us to the draft.
Yes, it was awesome.
Like,
Best
love him.
experience. I don't know how many times I need to thank you or can thank you, but it was awesome.
It was pretty sweet. So he's a baller. So stay tuned for episode 3.
All right. Peace.
Bye!
You know we don't miss. Feel like I'm Curry the way that I'm shooting. I been on my shit. Run them up, we gon' hit them. Coming in hot with a blitz. Cash out options, got them talking, we don't split. Straight from the couch, we up and we out. Then I got a dip.